everyone, and welcome back. Happy Friday. I'm Justine with State of Grace Tarot, and today is January 3rd, which is day 3 of my 31 Days of Tarot challenge, where I am challenging myself to answer a random question from a random book every day of the month to kick off 2025. Each week, I'm picking out a specific spread to work with, and this week I am focusing on the Celtic Cross, specifically modified by Dawn Michelle and how she's adapted it to kind of feel better and fit her needs, and I resonated with that, so that's the spread we are using. I have my little Celtic Cross spreadsheet that gives me the spread layout as well as the position meanings, so I can reference that as I walk through. Ideally, the goal is to someday just do all this intuitively, but until that day, we're working with the layout. As a reminder, the intention of this is for me to practice and learn, and it's all in good fun. At the end of it, hopefully at the end of January, I've made some progress, and maybe I'm a better reader, and maybe along the way people have learned something as well. I think it's interesting reading spreads and cards on film. I've never done it before. And, I've only been reading the tarot consistently for a few months now. I've really committed to it the last few months, call it Q4 of 2024. So I thought this would be a fun way to take things up a notch and really be able to internalize some of the card meetings by physically speaking them out into the world. So today I'm still using the original tarot deck. I don't know why I'm air quoting that. That's what it's actually called and marketed as. This is a mass market deck that's available on Amazon. I'll link it below. It has really clear pictures, clear, bright, colorful Rider-Waite-Smith artwork, which I find very easy in the process to help me learn. I also have, my guidebook over here in case, let's put it over here, in case I get stuck. I think I did get stuck on a couple of cards yesterday, but we're learning. So, this is here for reference whenever I feel like I need a little bit more or want to help work through some ideas that I have in my mind. Maybe I kind of feel like a general idea of the card, but if I want to dig a little bit deeper, this baby is here to help. So with that, I think that I am ready to pick out a practice question for today. The book I'm using to pick out my practice questions is The Ultimate Tarot Practice Questions. I found this book on Amazon. It's by Elizabeth Smith. She also has a book of 2,000 tarot practice questions. These questions go into a little bit more background, they give you a little bit more to work with as far as intentions and why the question is being asked, which I find helpful, especially as I'm practicing. I feel like these might be a little bit more realistic to real world situation questions. The 2000 question book, I looked at it, it is just general questions, which, maybe there's some value in that, and maybe someday I will find a use for that. But until then, I have this book. I'll link it down below, as well as the 2000 practice question book, so you can check that out if you have any interest in that one. So let's pick our question of the day. This one's interesting and probably going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Jay says, I'm crazy in love with my son's fiance. She visits me at my workplace and brings me lunch. We've been having an affair for 2 weeks. What would happen if I left my wife for her? Now, not to judge, I really hope that I would never get this question. The idea of being in love with somebody that you've been having an affair with for 2 weeks seems a little bit, I don't know, excessive. Obviously, well, maybe Jay has known the fiance for more than 2 weeks because it is his son's fiance. He is married. So let's have some fun with this one. I mean, obviously, if I had a client that I was reading for, I probably wouldn't be comfortable at answering this question and would say you need to find someone else. But in a world where Jay came to me and I'm sympathetic to his cause, and, right off the bat, I would say, you probably need to have some counseling, and why are you blowing up your whole entire family by having an affair with your son's fiance when you are also married? So seems like there's some stuff to unpack there, that's for sure. Who am I to judge? All right, so let's figure out what would happen to Jay, or in general, if Jay left his wife for his son's fiance. Maybe we can help Jay out. So just like the past few days, I'm going to lay the cards down face down first, so I can take each card individually and read them by themselves in relation to their position, and then I will take them in together as a group. Ooh. We're not doing jumpers here today, though that was the Three of Wands, in case anybody is curious, with the little love triangle he has going on. All right. So, we have the heart of the matter, the energy influencing the situation, the foundation or the root of the issue, the past, something that's coming to an end, what's on Jay's mind, what he already knows. And we have the future, what lies before him. Let's make some more room. So card number 7, we have the lesson. I'm sure Jay does have a good lesson. We have the path at position 8. We have advice in position 9. And we have the outcome, what will manifest if he continues on this path. One thing I do like about this spread is that it's really good for specific situations or specific questions. You know, the first 6 cards are about the here and now, will give me a general sense of the situation and give me some context. And then the staff is the information on what to do about the situation, what path should we follow, and what is the outcome. So we'll put card number 2 aside for a second and we'll get to our reading. Card number 1, the heart of the matter. We have Temperance. Card number 14 of the Major Arcana. Now this is interesting, and you know, Temperance is a card to me of alchemy, of balancing 2 opposites and making something out of that. You know, the angel is straddling between the water and the earth. You know, they're in between right now. In the background, you have the sun rising. In this card, you really have all the elements. You have the water, you have earth, you have fire. The wings bring you a sense of the air. So to me, this feels like Jay is searching for something. Maybe he's missing something in his life, and that's why he's driven to have this affair with his son's fiance. So let's look at card number 2 and what is influencing the matter. And we have the 6 of Pentacles, which is a card of, typically, you know, you think of charity, of generosity. 6, you know, is a card of building. You know, 3 manifests, and 6 is 2 threes. So, you know, this person has maybe feels like they've accumulated enough wealth and success for them to be able to do something with it. Maybe, you know, and obviously if he's having an affair, maybe he's looking for something, a place to give that generosity. And it just so happens to be his son's fiance. So position 3, this is the foundation or the root, which so interesting. We have the Tower. To me, this is, speaking to someone who maybe wants to burn it all down. He sees something, he needs to make a change. He's unhappy about something and he's being very impulsive. It's a very short, the Tower is, strikes like lightning. It's very quick. Maybe he did not expect to have this connection with his son's fiance. They've been in it for 2 weeks, but it's very passionate. My eyes being drawn to this fire. There's a lot of fire energy, but it's destructive, right? He's about to potentially blow up his entire relationship with his wife, with his son, in order to build a relationship with his son's fiance. So card number 4 is the past, something coming to an end. Also very interesting. The Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a very calm and loyal knight. Someone who has a good head on their shoulders and there's not much movement in this knight as opposed to other knights. So to me, this is speaking to Jay kind of losing that sense of loyalty and calmness. Position 5, what's on his mind? What does he know? The 9 of Wands. So to me, this could be, the 9 is a card of completion and coming to an end. He feels a little beat up and banged up. Maybe this speaks to how he feels about his relationship with his wife, that there's no more passion. They've taken the passion to completion as far as they can take it. There's no more there. They have a wall built up between them. Maybe he's feeling that. Or alternatively, maybe he knows that this is wrong. He's feeling trepidation about building this relationship with his son's fiance, but it's of Wands, it's passion. Maybe he can't help himself. Both of those things could both be true for this 9 of Wands. So card number 6, the future, what lies before Jay. You can't make this stuff up. So this is the 7 of Swords, which is a card of deception. And, this is a thief sneaking away in the night. So, Jay's already going to do this. We know Jay is making bad decisions and he's being deceitful and he's being selfish. So, and this card speaks to, he's going to have to leave the situation. The situation being his marriage and probably even his family, and it's probably not irreparable. It's probably not repairable, which, maybe that is what the heart of the matter, Temperance, is speaking to, that going on this path is not going to be the best and highest use of somebody. You're like, he's not going to be able to be in alignment with his higher self if he chooses to continue to see his son's fiance. He's not in alignment with what can be good in the world and not making the best choice. Maybe this card, number 6, rather than being charity, maybe it's speaking to he's losing money and he's needing something to feel better about himself. And that's what's driving him to act out and make connections with inappropriate people. I'm sounding very judgy here, but it's kind of a crazy situation, and we're all friends here, right? You know, if Jay is coming to me and asking me this type of question, obviously there's an element of truth we can speak to each other. And we can be candid because the cards are being candid as well. So, looking at the overall situation, I'm seeing, a couple of pentacles, some passion, some fire, some swords, some mind stuff, a couple of major arcana cards that speak to the broader implications of continuing along this path. There's not much water here or emotions, so he's not really, thinking about maybe the emotional impact that this could have on people. It feels very, very selfish. He's leaving behind loyalty. He's taking what he wants. So now that we have a clearer picture of the situation and what's maybe causing the affair of 2 weeks, let's look at what he can do about it. His question is, what would happen if I left my wife for her? But I think we all know what would happen. So let's see. Card number 7, we have the lesson, which is the Hanged Man. So to me, the lesson here is he needs to chill out. He needs to pause and reflect. Look at it from a different perspective. He's having this whirlwind relationship, but maybe it's because he's missing something. Maybe he needs to go to counseling with his wife. Maybe his wife won't want that because, he's betrayed her. But, he needs to take a minute and reflect on what this truly means and not be so caught up in the whirlwind of this passionate, fiery relationship. Card number 8 is the path, the journey, progress. So we have the Page of Swords, which to me, it speaks to someone who's not really thinking. We have the swords. The page is young and, has their head in the cloud and thinking of all the good things that can happen, but not really being grounded on the earth. He's very much up in the clouds. It looks like his feet are barely touching the ground there. So to me, this speaks to he's not really paying attention. He's not thinking very clearly. Card number 9 is the advice. The Queen of Wands. To me, this speaks to him needing to talk to his wife, the queen. Maybe she is feeling a similar way. Maybe, she might be fiery and passionate, and this might end their entire relationship. But the advice here is he needs to go speak to his wife. There's hope. We have the sunflower, which makes me think of the sun, which, is a card of hope and maybe, maybe she can help him see things more clearly. My eyes keep getting drawn to this little black cat. I don't know if I have anything in my guidebook that speaks to that little kitty cat. Oh, I do. The black cat, reference to old folklore and suggests a woman with many eligible suitors. So that tells me maybe this is speaking to the fiance as well. If she's having an affair with the father of her beloved fiance, maybe she's also having an affair with others. The advice here is maybe if she'll do that to her current fiance, she might do this to you as well. The queen is looking ahead into the future. Maybe this person is someone who only goes and follows their passions, and she's always looking ahead for the next thing. So, card number 10, the outcome. What will manifest if he continues on this path? Now, I don't normally read reversals, and I normally flip these upright, but I feel like having the 10 of Cups reversed is appropriate. It feels right that this is reversed, that there's not going to be a happy ending, that if he continues on this path, he's going to end up alone and without a family. And he's going to hurt a lot of people along the way. Which I think pretty well answers his question of what would happen if he leaves his wife for her? She will probably leave him for someone else, and it's going to tear his family apart anyways. I think that this one was really fun to dig into. It wasn't something that I really felt comfortable with as far as answering the question, but it was kind of fun to work through and pretty interesting. If you all have any questions or feedback on my process or my reading, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions that you want me to try my hand at answering, let me know. Leave a comment, shoot me an email. I'll have my email in the description. I hope you all are enjoying this process as much as I am. I'm finding it really fun. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again tomorrow.